It's a new day, it's a new dawn.
Hello, this is your television speaking. Let's push the button marked idiot and see what comes out.
Honestly, every time I'm almost afraid to look at the news to see what's happening in the world of pop culture and entertainment as we know it, and boy, you just gotta go no further than bounding into comics, and I see cringe headlines like this. House of the Dragon showrunners reveal Game of Thrones spin-off written with focus on addressing accusation of racism, sexism against the original series. Does anybody give two shits? No. I love the original series. I know people like John Boyega had some really weird takes about that there wasn't enough representation for him and everybody else in that show, despite the fact there was representation. It was the way it was written. It's what people were expecting from a mythological world that George R.R.R. Martin created. But of course, we now go into complete meltdown. And that's not even the story I'm talking about today, folks. It was like one of these headlines that flashed up. But the main one I want to talk about today, well, you guessed it. It's Disney, because Disney are dumb, Disney are stupid, Disney just can't help themselves. And I do agree with the narrative that they had this very weird, twisted indoctrination of impressionable young kids and teenagers who may pass a fancy at reading the latest iteration of a beloved Star Wars character who's now been dehumanized once again. I'm talking about, of course, Obi-Wan, or in this case, Pedo-Wan. Yep, the Padawan prequel novel implies Obi-Wan Kenobi is bisexual. Oh dear. In the latest example of Disney's almost fetishistic desire to both retcon Star Wars continuity and lazily identity swap the numerous classic pop culture icons that have come under their ownership in recent years, the upcoming prequel era novel Star Wars Padawan features a moment which implies Obi-Wan liked looking at men's bottoms. So let's get into this, because this is this is just great. I love this. I mean, wow. They really should have called this Carry On Star Wars, like the Carry On movies. Oh my god. If this was the angle they were taking, I would not have a problem. It would be great. But no, they're taking it so dead seriously. It's almost, you want to reach out and give them some help. You know what I mean? But that's never going to happen in a million years. Written by young adult fiction author Kirsten White, perhaps best known for her Paranormalcy series, Star Wars Padawan is set during the years of Obi-Wan's training under Qui-Gon Jinn, and finds the young Jedi running off without his master to undertake an official, maybe unofficial in this case, Jedi mission after growing restless with the slower, more mindful parts of his training. By the way, this Kirsten White chick, I don't know Paranormalcy at all, never heard of it, so if she's best known for it, I've never seen it, so there's young, oh look, it's young Obi-Wan looking remarkably like a cross between Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor. I've just dimmed the lights, folks, because we want to make this a very intimate reading, do you know what I mean? Ever since Qui-Gon's former master, Dooku, left the Order, it feels like Qui-Gon has been too busy trying to connect with the Force, or arguing with the Jedi Council to properly train his Padawan, it continues. When Obi-Wan finally convinces Qui-Gon to take him on a mission, or just take him, to a remote planet once explored by an ancient Jedi, his master doesn't show up in the morning. They are to leave, so Obi-Wan impulsively takes off by himself. Read into that statement as you will. Ah, look at that. Look at the two side by side. Emo Obi-Wan and a not impressed Dave Grohl, Qui-Gon Jinn. The synopsis concludes. this is the best part, folks. Upon arriving on the mysterious, lush planet, he encounters a group of impressionable teenagers with no adult supervision, and who all seem to have some connection to the farce. Free from the constraints of the Order, Obi-Wan joins them in daring adventures, but the Padawan side of him keeps questioning the teens' strange relationship to the Force. I'm gonna have to do it. You know I'm gonna have to. And to the verdant planet around them, and what all of it might mean to his future. Obi-Wan will test the limits of his relationship to the Jedi and to the Force in this exciting yet soulful exploration of one of Star Wars' most enduring heroes. Really? Really, Kirsten White? Really? You know what? I think she has looked at the autobiography of the late great Sir Alec Guinness and has probably seen there's some implications that he might be or would have been homosexual. I don't believe that for a fact. I don't, because it was never proven. There was an incident that happened in the 1940s in Chelsea, London, I believe, and Sir Alec Guinness was arrested for a certain act in a public toilet, but they never found the record of it, and he went under the pseudonym of Herbert Pocket, which I thought was pretty awesome. So they can never prove that. She's probably taken out and thought, you know what, Sir Alec is dead, his estate won't bother me about this, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make the beloved character that he made famous first by turning him into a bi. Wowee. I mean, this is... You know what? George Lucas must be having so many regrets about selling his IP off to Disney for $4.3 billion, which was far less than $7.5 billion Microsoft paid for Bethesda. So go figure, right? And you know what? When The Phantom Menace was coming out, I think it was 1999, wasn't it? And the excitement about that film was just, it was fever pitch, man. I mean, I was working at the Planet Hollywood restaurant at the time on the front door. That's a story for a live stream in the future. And I just remember meeting Jake Lloyd. He turned up, he was a really nice kid. He signed an autograph for my friend. He was a bit overwhelmed, I can tell what was going on there. And I'd met George Lucas prior to that as well, which is another story for a live stream, which is great. And George Lucas, you know, he's a based man. He doesn't believe in any of this identity shit. He brought in diversity into the Star Wars films anyway. People keep forgetting that Billy D. Williams is a really good character as Landau Calrissian. But of course, the way they're going with all of this now, and of course, I've just seen this. Obi-Wan Volume 1 Younglings Challenge. Oh, bloody hell, Jesus Christ. You can tell what's going on here, right, folks? You don't need me to spell it out to you. Disney are a disgusting, depraved company. They're slipping all these strange bits of narrative. You know what I liken this to? When somebody knocks on your door and they're from a certain religious sect and they give you this babble about what they are without telling you what they are. And this is not exactly the same thing, but it's trying to think you're stupid, that you won't notice the implication in between the text, if you know what I mean. I think it's absolutely disgusting. Marvel, of course, are behind this, and of course behind is probably even the wrong term of phrase that I want to use in this instance, but wow, congratulations, Disney. You're like that Greek mythical snake, the Ouroboros. You just keep eating yourself into oblivion. It's just hilarious. And by the way, folks, you remember that video I made a few days ago? The Black Panther 2 reaction? And yeah, man, the outrage has been hilarious on that one. It's been fantastic. But guess what? I've got a sequel coming out to that today at 3:30 UK time. It's a 17-minute long video. You don't want to miss it. I had such a laugh making that one, and it proves my point. It proves my point once and for all. If you cannot disagree with something, no matter how bad or intelligent or good your take is. There's going to be that section of the community, because I'm the fellowship, that's the community full of retardos who will just come out in their masses. And I will say this much, to their credit so far, the people who have disliked and have commented on that video haven't called me names, which I was quite surprised at. Maybe because, well, you know, I'm just going to point out the obvious. So that's interesting. I thought that was interesting, but it's just a great exercise in the fact that I decided not to like a particular thing about a trailer, many things about that trailer. Oh, and by the way, I'm not the only one who thinks that way, so you go look around, and if you're not afraid to say anything, go make a video about it or write a hit piece about it on a vlog and see what happens. But folks, if you enjoy this this insane take on Star Wars today, make sure you leave a like below, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you wanna, and maybe, just maybe, if you're me, I will check you out on the next video.
We're not allowed to serve hard stuff in Stodge, sir. Mayor's orders.
That is correct, but I can thoroughly recommend the ginger beer.
Don't you talk to me about ginger beer. Who is this?
Judge Burke.
I am the mayor.
You better keep away from my horse. You ain't seen a mare in 3 weeks.